All right, what is going on, everybody? It is your boy Huss from Sports Debunked, and today I have a special video. We're gonna be going over UFC 287. It was this past weekend. Great card. I want to go over it, talk about each fight on the main card, give my opinion on how I feel, what should happen after with these fighters, and just my overall perspective on this card. I hope all of you guys enjoy this video, and you guys comment down below how you feel about the card. I know that main event was spicy, so let's get into it. So for the first fight on the main card, we had Raul Rosas Jr. versus Christian Rodriguez. Raul Rosas came into this fight, I think a minus 300 underdog. He was the big favorite over here. Christian Rodriguez was a big time underdog. And Christian came into the fight overweight. I think he was 1 pound. He missed weight. But this fight was a shocker to some people. We had an 18-year-old kid versus another prospect. Christian Rodriguez, like 8-1. Like, he's not a bad fighter at all. And everyone thought that, like, Raul's gonna come in like how he came against Jay Perrin in December, where he just steamrolled him, got his back, quick sub, easy. Everyone thought that was gonna happen, and then the first round it was looking like that. I mean, Raul Rosas, he had his back, but Christian Rodriguez, he stayed calm. He knew he couldn't pull off anything from that position because he felt like he was in a comfortable position. You know? So Raul Rosas wasted the first round on his back, just trying to look for that sub, and I feel like he wasted too much energy because in the second and third round, all those takedown attempts were so telegraphed. Christian Rodriguez could see every single takedown attempt. And I see a lot of people bashing Raul. Bro, he's 18. Like, I know he talks a lot, but like, if he's beating up grown men at 18 years old, he definitely has a huge boost of confidence. I do not blame him at all. I actually like Raul. I think he's going to be really good, and he's actually good for the sport. He's a young kid. I don't think he could beat any of these top guys. Not yet. We'll see in a few years from now. But 18 years old, we got to keep that in mind. He is a young kid. He's younger than me. I'm 21 years old. This guy is 18 years old. So I think people need to go a little lightly on him. I think now he got a piece of that humble pie. He's going to relax. We're not going to see him saying he could take on Aljo anymore. And if he can get a couple more fights to get back into that like hype, it's possible. So shout out to Raul and shout out to Christian Rodriguez. He had a dominant performance. That was easy unanimous decision. He has to work on his striking, man. Could not land could not land two strikes in a fight, in a UFC fight. You can't. You're gonna lose the fight. 2 to 83. That is actually, like, what are you doing? You can't land two strikes the whole fight. You need to work on your stand up. You need to, because now everyone knows his game plan. He's just gonna shoot. He's gonna shoot. And look what he did. He shot. He got kneed in the face. And that it changed the whole momentum of the fight. So shout out to Christian Rodriguez. Shout out to Raul Rosas. He's 18. I think he'll be good in the future. Christian Rodriguez shut up that hype train. So yeah, let's move on to the next fight. So for the second fight, we had Kevin Holland versus Santiago Ponzinibbio. It was all standing up, and it was a great fight. Santiago Ponzinibbio, he battled with a few injuries, but he got a win in his most previous fight. I was actually there for that fight. Crazy knockout. I think it was Alex Morano or something. But Kevin Holland hit him with a crazy, I think it was like a right hook. Was it a right hook or no? It was a left hook, and man, that knocked his lights out. And I seen Santiago kind of got up and was like battling this decision, but come on, man, you were out cold. But great fight. There's not really much to talk about that. I mean, both of them showed good showcases of striking, especially Kevin Holland. After he came back, I was surprised he was fighting so soon after his most previous fight against Wonder Boy. I heard he broke his hand or something. He had surgery on his hand, something like that, where he was injured. But he came back, shut the lights out of Santiago Ponzinibbio. We should be seeing a lot of Kevin Holland from here on out. I mean, he's at 170, so I think he'll do a lot of damage against strikers. I think, and yeah, so shout out to Kevin Holland. I mean, that was a great fight. After the Kevin Holland fight, we had Rob Font versus Adrian Yanez. Wow, just wow. I mean, Adrian he has not lost in the UFC up until this fight. He had a lot of hype on his back. Rob Font, veteran to this game. I mean, the fight was really good. It only lasted like 2 minutes 57 seconds. It was a short fight, but both fighters were swinging. It looked like they were both swinging. They wanted to knock each other's heads off, and that's what the fans love. The fans come here to watch these kind of fights. And Rob Font just hit him so hard, snapped his head back, and Adrian Yanez lights out. Shout out to Rob Font. There's not really much to talk about that. I mean, it's only 2 minutes 50 seconds. Shout out to Rob Font. I think at bantamweight, I mean, he's the rank 6. I feel like a good fight would be against like Peter Yan or something. That'd be a nice fight. Adrian Yanez, he's still young in the UFC. He's ranked 12. He took a hard challenge against a top ranked guy. So shout out to Adrian Yanez for having some big balls. I hope he can be successful in the upcoming future so he can fight these top 5, top 6 guys in the future as well. So for the co-main event, we had Gilbert Burns and Jorge Masvidal. After the fight, Jorge Masvidal retired. I mean, everyone knew he was coming sooner than later. He had like 50 something fights in the UFC. Dude's 30, 38, 39 years old. Like it gets to you, especially at especially at a division where he has to verse a lot of like wrestlers, and his grappling's not that good. His takedown defense is all right, but on the floor he doesn't really know what to do. But Gilbert Burns had a dominant performance. I mean, I feel like he won all 3 rounds. He won the unanimous decision. Jorge Masvidal just had no answer to the takedowns. I feel like every time he was just down there, he was just trying to survive, waiting for the buzzer for the next round. I mean, shout out to Gilbert Burns, another dominant performance. He just came off that win against Neil Magny, which first round finish. It was extremely dominant. But Gilbert Burns, he deserves a title shot. He truly deserves a title shot. This guy is insane. He is really good. He's one of those fighters where like he will fight anybody, anytime, any place. I love Gilbert Burns. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a big fan of Gilbert Burns. Guy's a beast. He loves to fight, and he's really fucking good. So shout out to Gilbert Burns. And going into this fight, I kind of hated on Jorge Masvidal too much. This is my apology to Jorge Masvidal. Seeing you retire, I kind of got sad because I remembered all the good moments you've had in the UFC. You're just a household name, so shout out to Jorge Masvidal as well. Good fight for Gilbert Burns. Another W for his resume. Gilbert, he's like 3-1 in his last 4. I think the guy deserves a title shot. I think the UFC should just give this man a title shot already. And we are on to the main event. Alex Pereira, Israel Adesanya. Izzy. I know I said you were gonna lose. I know I kind of hated, but I've always been a big fan of you. I don't want to be the like guy that says like, oh, hops on the bandwagon after you win. But I truly thought Alex Pereira just had your number. But shout out to Israel Adesanya for that knockout. That was insane. And you know what was even better than the knockout? The celebration. 1 arrow, 2 arrow, and then he did that 3rd arrow like how Alex Pereira does. So wow. But the main question is, who does he fight next? Does he have a trilogy fight against Alex Pereira? Does he fight Robert Whittaker? Do we get new blood like Hamzat? Me personally, I want to see this guy fight new blood. I know a lot of people want to see a trilogy with Alex Pereira, but Izzy is technically right. He didn't have any hard fights come up until this fight. I know he had Sean Strickland, but he never had to go through guys like Marvin Vettori, Robert Whittaker, Paulo Costa, just like those guys in the middleweight division that kind of gatekeep to get to Israel Adesanya. But Alex Pereira, I think he does need to do if he wants to stay at middleweight, he's gonna have to fight one of those guys. But his best bet is to move up to 205. You're a big dude already. You're a beast. Go up to 205. Cause some damage over there. We'd love to see a crazy. Imagine like Alex Pereira gets like Yuri Prochazka. Imagine how big of a fight that would. That fight would be huge. 2 great kickboxers, 2 great fighters. I would love to see that. For Izzy, man, Izzy, I want to see you fight Hamza. I want to see what Hamza can do at 185 against a top guy. I know he fought at 185 before, but it wasn't really against someone that skilled. I want to see how good his wrestling is against a guy like Israel Adesanya, who has a field day with wrestlers like Robert Whittaker, Marvin Vettori. Robert Whittaker twice. People need to understand he beat Robert Whittaker 2 times. That's crazy. So overall, I give the card like an 8.5 out of 10. I think that Raul Rosas fight kind of slowed down the fight. Then that Kevin Holland knockdown brought it back. And then it got slowed down again with Gilbert Burns and Jorge Masvidal. Then Alex Pereira, his knockout on Alex Pereira just brought it back. So 8.5 out of 10. Great card. I can't wait to see what happens next with the UFC. Shout out to all the fighters. Shout out to all the fans. Every weekend is amazing when there's a card like that. So that's the video for you guys. I just went over the whole UFC 287 real quick. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys love the card as much as I do. Let me know down below how you guys feel about the card. Who you think Israel Adesanya should fight next? Who you think Alex Pereira should fight next? Who you think Kevin Holland should fight next? Great card. Great time. Have a great one. I'll see you guys in the next video.